Hi everybody and welcome back to my backyard once again. Today we're gonna take a look at the DeepSpace Seeker 5 FPV drone. Boom! The presentation is amazing. I like how they use the battery strap to secure the drone on the cardboard. And under you'll find the accessories. You get two sets of Gemfan Hurricane 5143x3 blades. One is for the drone, one is spare. A spare DeepSpace branded rubberized battery strap, two spare antennas and GoPro mount, action camera screw and buzzer mount, and stickers. Time for the specs. First of all, the drone comes in X or dead cat configuration. This is the dead cat, and if you use the O4 Pro, I recommend this one because you don't get the propellers in view. It is 228mm motor to motor, and the weight with the propellers on is gonna be around 434 grams, which is very good, gets my stamp of approval. The top plate is 2mm thick, all of the bottom ones are 2.5 and the arms are 5mm thick. The arms are interlocking, and with 3 screws you can remove them very quickly. And it feels incredibly stiff. The front is made of aluminum and it looks very good. And all of the plastic you see is 3D printed in TPU. In the front you get an action camera mount and a GPS, which is far from the antennas and the interference at the back. On the sides you have a very light protection from grass and debris entering your flight controller. To access your flight controller you can remove the screws and it opens, or you can yank your way like this. The antenna mount at the back is super versatile, can hold every kind of antennas. And on the bottom you have the external receiver housing, which is very convenient. You don't have to open all the drone to access it. The motors look beautiful. They are DeepSpace Ether 2207.3 1960 kV. Here you have a dual stack F7 dual gyro flight controller at the top, and at the bottom 60 amps 32-bit ESCs, which have very nice solder balls. And finally, let's talk about the O4 Pro camera in this drone. Today is gonna be my first time with it, so it's gonna be also a review of this system. You can get this drone with the O4, the O3, or without anything and add your own cameras. Everything will probably fit. They mounted the O4 in a clever way with this aluminum bracket at the back, so it fits into the O3 housing. Probably they were designing this drone for the O3 and the O4 came out in the meantime, but it's clever how they designed it. The camera can swivel all the way from 0 to 45 degrees, no problem. If you wanna go further up, it's gonna collide a little bit with the GPS up top, but probably reworking the bracket or moving stuff, you can, there is space at the bottom, so probably you can move the camera a little bit below if you wanna fly at, I don't know, 60, but usually I fly at 30 degrees maximum. And I am super excited about this camera because it's one of the best things happening in FPV ever, in my opinion. This is finally the day we won't be needing an action camera anymore. In fact, it's the same exact sensor as the DJI Action 4 camera. It is a 1/1.3 inches sensor with an aperture of 2.8. It's gonna be very good at night. You can record 4K at 60 or 120 frames per second, and also supports D-Log-M with 10-bit recording. The VTX at the back is smaller than the O3, and it also weighs 32 grams, so it's about 10 grams less, which is amazing, especially for smaller drones. You have 4 GB of internal storage, but it supports the SD card. It has dual antennas, and the output power can go up to 1200 milliwatts. With the O4 protocol, it's gonna have an incredible range and penetration. Time to fly. I'm gonna use first the 1550 mAh 6S, which is the top of the recommended batteries for this drone. And then I'm gonna use the 1700 mAh with the Action 4. I'm actually very curious to put these images side by side. I'm gonna use the same settings. I feel like the images are gonna be very similar, if not the same. And if you're interested about this low profile mount, you're gonna find the link down in the description below. I designed it myself. In order to record, you have to arm, remember that. And it's super quick in finding satellites. It took 1 minute the time I placed the drone on there, cold start. This is my first time arming this drone, hearing the motors. Oh my god, this chicken is looking for it. Come on, I cannot follow them with a 5-inch. But first flight, first time spinning the motors, sounds super clean, and it's super stable from what I can see. The noise is fine. Okay, let's push a little bit. Oh wow, Maybe these batteries are not the newest batteries ever. Maybe the drone is pulling a little bit of amps. Wow. Flying the O4 system feels amazing. This is again my first time flying, and I feel like I can go everywhere. Wow. Wow, the signal is just so much better than the freaking O3. 60 megabits all the way, it doesn't care. Look at it. Man, I never was able to fly here. I hope I don't lose the drone because it's just too beautiful. Wow. Okay, I went a little bit down the hill. Now I gotta come back and okay, I see my house. Wow. Okay, I am completely sold on the O4 system. Not only records much better, but you also have this perfect signal all the way. I can see clearly, I can fly wherever I want. Man, this is nice. Maybe, yeah, I need to buy newer batteries, but I never was able to fly down here with this perfect reception. Wow. And the drone is tuned perfectly for being a dead cat. I cannot ask better than this. Sadly, it's always a little bit cloudy. I need to fix the ray. Oh! I almost decapitated the chicken. They distracted me. I hope they go away because I don't want to do anything to them. Oh! Yeah, it's very powerful. I'm not used to 5 inches anymore. Also, I need to put a slight amount of expo because I'm not used to these rates. But I cannot complain at all with this drone. Probably one of the best 5 inches I've flew so far. The weight is fine, and this is the best camera I ever seen. I mean, just look how it comes down perfectly straight like an arrow. DeepSpace, really good job on this drone. The motors are nice. And the tuning is just amazing. Ah, they cut some trees right here. Last time I flew, there were not. Very nice. Someone cut that tree. Probably you cannot even cut them because it's illegal. I am lucky I didn't cut it myself. But at random someone cut exactly that tree that was in front of my power loop line. And now I can just power loop all the way. Wow, it also seems to be quite efficient, even if my battery is not the newest battery ever. 148 kilometers per hour. Okay, I fell in love with this drone. It's my new backpack 5 inch. And I can put even bigger batteries, like 1800, 1700, without using the action camera. Yeah, you can tell I'm excited. And also we can test the GPS probably, because the performance of that really also very, very good. We have low battery, so let's try GPS rescue. GPS rescue works perfectly. Nice. I mean, let's see if it comes back here. It probably should, but land now, I don't wanna risk it. Gonna come in for a landing. Five minutes and 33 of flying. Of course, my battery is done. Please, 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 please. 5 minutes and 30 seconds of flying in this mixed relax and acro flying. I'm very, very impressed. This drone is efficient, it's powerful, the tuning is perfect. I only have good things to say. Also, the GPS performance was stellar. It picks up satellites in 3 seconds. And the O4, don't even get me started on that. The signal on this thing is just amazing. Like, I could not trust myself going there with the O3. It will start losing bitrate. This thing is straight 60 all the way until you start losing it a little bit. But wow, it's almost bulletproof. And now I've got the Action 4 at the same exact angle. I hope the footage is the same, so you cannot tell it apart. Also, I like the way the action camera is mounted. They have a recess nut, so you don't lose it when you unscrew it. And before I fly again, I watched the video. The O4 did an amazing job, but I noticed I clip a couple of branches with these propellers. They are spotless. That's crazy. Very good quality propellers. Wow, 27 satellites. It sit there for a couple of minutes now because I was setting up the expo. And with the action camera on top, yeah, it doesn't feel too bad. Maybe a little bit more inertia, totally, a little bit more noise, but it's totally flyable. I don't know why my goggles are fogging up. Man, I don't like these goggles. Ooh, goggles 3. Yeah, this drone is tuned to perfection, to the point. Let me just activate the defogger quickly. Goggles defog. Okay. Ah, nice. Okay, now I can see a little bit better. Let's try doing some freestyle with the action camera on top. Wow, it's still very powerful. I am having issues controlling it. Probably you can put a bigger battery, no problem on this drone. Even 2200 milliamps, you're gonna have, I don't know, 10 minutes of flying. Oh. Nice. 10 minutes of flying with that battery. You can cruise down a mountain. Yeah. Wow. Wow. This drone is probably one of the best 5 inches I've tried so far. I mean, I've never seen really drastically bad 5 inches, but this just hits all the right spots. Dead cuts have become a lot better in the latest year, because before you had to decide if you wanted a X-frame that flew better or a dead cut. You don't see the propellers, but it flies a little bit worse. Now I don't see the point of going X-frame unless you really want to see the propellers, because the way this drone is tuned, you don't notice it. If I give it to you and I don't tell you it's a dead cat, you don't notice it's flying any worse than a X-frame. Wow. I have to practice a little bit. But this thing, every time you pull the throttle, it covers 100 meters. It's crazy. Oh, my finger slipped. Look, one flick of the throttle, you go on the other side of the house. It probably still flies. What? Let me see if I can shake these leaves off. Oh my god. What the hell is this? I have a freaking park on my camera. Come on. Now you can tell which one is the O4 and which one is not. But, oh, okay, we are losing. What the freak? We lost all the power in 1 second, 4 minutes of flight time. What the hell happened? Look at this cosmetic improvement we have in the front right here. We went really hard into the grass. The drone tumbled a little bit, but again, the propellers didn't even care. This propeller seems to be quite rigid, because usually with other drones I always find them folded somehow, while these ones are still in totally perfect condition, not even bent. Wow. 4 minutes of mostly pushing acro with this battery before it started sagging. I don't know why. It's quite new, it has like 5-6 flights on it, and I always keep it in storage. But yeah, I'm gonna buy newer batteries because it's like 6 months old. Time for my final opinion on the DeepSpace Seeker 5 Dead Cat. I gave it a little bit of a clean because I cannot see my drones dirty, and I have to say I am quite impressed with this drone. Usually 5 inches fly good, but this one touches all the right spots. I'm gonna say it again, but the tuning is spotless. The motors are efficient if you go slow, powerful if you wanna push. The build quality is robust and the weight is nice too. The GPS is one of the fastest I've seen, even faster than DJI drones. And lastly, the O4 is stellar, both in video quality and reception. Really, you can go everywhere because this thing doesn't drop signal. It's crazy. It seems like I have to struggle finding negatives about this drone. It's really well made and a good multi-purpose 5-inch that's very balanced. You can do a little bit of bando bashing, cinematic, come down a mountain. You can do a little bit of everything. If I have to nitpick, I would have redesigned this front camera housing with the right screw pattern for the O4 system and allow it to swivel a little bit further up. Also, probably redesigning the GPS mount, putting it a little bit back would help a lot with that. I have just watched the videos back to back and they look incredibly similar. Maybe the O4 is a tiny bit softer. I don't know if it's the camera itself, because they had the same settings, but the megabit on the O4 was 15 megabits lower, 130, 115. Or maybe it's the mounting system. It was cloudy, maybe the shutter speed was low enough to introduce a little bit of shake into it and is not as needed as the camera, which is a little bit better soft mounted with this TPU on top. And also, watching the video on the big screen, I could spot the tiniest amount of jello down in the distance during punch outs. The camera is soft mounted with silicone. Maybe it needs a little bit of untightening to have a little bit more play and reduce jello. Other than that, I feel like I can recommend this drone hands down, and also the O4 system is really good. Probably we don't need the action cameras anymore. And that's all for this video. Remember to like, subscribe and comment. Let me know what you think about this 5-inch, and also what do you think about the O4 Pro system in here. If you want to buy something, check out the links down in the description below. Many times you also find coupons, and clicking on them you help my channel a lot. Thank you so much. And also, if you want to download this mount, you'll find the link again down in the description. Stay safe and happy flying. Bye.